Let's see if this works. We're currently running at 11% of the CPU, and I'm going to see if we can just start a game up, as well as everything else running. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need it. Drop down Discord. Restore those boards, shut them down. Now we need... Where the hell is my... Vampire Survivors. Let's so, will this work? And I'm looking at the... just to see how much CPU has been used. Well, I think we can actually do this. I just felt like doing a stream today, and I was feeling kind of disconnected from reality, so I needed to connect with people again. So usually I would go on Discord, but everybody's busy and doing stuff. So here I am. Let's continue to add stuff here. I know I've got some new characters that have just been added. Robert or something was added. I'm sitting here on my swing seat in the shade from the sun. It's currently 26.3 Celsius in the shade and 33.5 over there in the sun. I've got two digital thermometers, one on either side of the house. The hydro is showing at 49%, which isn't too bad actually. Pretty calm. Robert, so who are you? Max health when blah 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 blah. That's okay. So let's choose Robert. It's really amazing what you can do on a Steam Deck. I mean, I'm literally streaming with 30 FPS stable, 6000K bandwidth, 12% of the CPU is being used by OBS, and let's see. What? Oh, to Castlevania. I hate that one. I feel like doing one that's simple. Come on, Jason, we can do it. How about we do the laboratory? The laboratory. I think that's a good idea. Now, I do probably need to add a few filters. I didn't ever set up the filters, so just give me a sec to drop down the audio on the sound to about there. That means it won't override. So if we do that, Hyper Hurry or Connors Limited Break, that will do. Okay. Which one are you? that's actually a good version for this. That's going to be a penny. Yeah, this is going to be... where's his attack thing? Now, the spell strike system is an actual... Ooh, an extra passive weapon. Ooh, and actually for... This could be very bad very quickly because none of those are interesting to me. Holy chicken soup, and that's going to make my life worse. Okay, that's what we wanted. But whether or not we'll survive for the next... Dog is just lying in the cool because it's so hot. We're not in, that's the right one. If I go in the house, I've got to put the AC on in my room. It's up to like 28, 29 degrees Celsius in my room upstairs. It's just way too hot. I need garlic or something. I think I made a tactical error. This is not a good thing. This is a bad thing. Ooh, garlic might help. But garlic's going to take up a spot that we can't have taken up. Whisker fuffled. Where's the stop button on this one? I've really messed up because I'm thinking about the end game. I have made a mistake. A very, very bad mistake. At least I've got me revives if I do die. Well, that's good. This is working really well, actually. I'm always amazed at how well the Steam Deck can do stuff. I mean, I know I'm streaming a really low-powered game. But... Ooh. What's that one? It's going to be useful, actually. Doing 2 holes now. Oh, I wish I had. I think this is working. I'm pretty sure it is. Problem is, I've miscalculated. I'm waiting for something interesting to come along. Okay. Let's start safe my data. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are bouncing like a fish. Yes, we are. Revive! Come on, we need more DPS. Let's see if we can pick another one of these. Ooh. Overall area continuously changes between minutes. Interesting. What are you? I am going to die a lot soon. Ooh, presents. Hello. I am old. I'm gonna die a lot until I get really good. So, will this give me evolution? You'd think it would. Yeah, I think. Oh, no, that's not good. I will need that 1 point a turn. It might give me some health. Ooh, nice. Triple chestikins of doom. We like that. Ooh, and we got the whip of doom. Now I'm looking for an ultra-rare drop now to try and fix the problems I've caused myself. But I don't think I'm going to make it. Holy chicken silver, that's a lot of energy. I need at least one more evolution. Skip some more because I don't want to. Health regen thing. I'm looking for a drop that gives me an extra major weapon. It's a gift box that appears now and then when you get subhazards annoying. But the chances of getting it, that's the only way I can fix my issue. Because I've used up too many spaces. I don't think we're going to last until 30 minutes or whatever. Maybe another evolution will do if this is going to be an evolution. Yep, that's an evolution, so... Okay. Good. Oh, we've now got the super knife, which might help. I have no idea how many. I don't think I'm going to survive long. I mean, I might have win some kind of reward for taking the max curves. This is not going well. Not going well at all, my good friends. I'm really surprised I've survived up to now. Can't have many more revives left. At least I'm doing enough firepower now to survive. Just about survive. Oh. So yes, that should turn it out really well. one of those few games like this. I mean, if the weapons weren't automatic on it. Hello there, Brendan. Hi, I didn't notice you chatting there. I'm good. I just decided to do a stream today outside in the backyard. So I'm just swinging around on my thingy, having fun, streaming on the Steam Deck. Oh my god, I am taking so much damage. How's your day going? It's very hot here. Yeah, it's very hot. So that's the reason I'm not in the house. It's just too hot to be in the house. So streaming out here is a good thing. A little drinky. Oopsie, that's a lot of enemies collecting. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go here so I've got more room to see the thing when it appears. That is a lot of enemies. It's very hot over here. In the sun it's 32 degrees Celsius. In the shade it's 25 degrees. So yeah, it's really hot. Too hot to be in the house because the house is very, very warm. Oh, I'd love to have some rain. Although my computers wouldn't like the rain. But no. Oh, it's doing me lots of... Holy sugar. It's very, very hot here. That is a lot of enemies. I can't see anything that's going on the screen. It's too much stuff going on. So I just focus on the centre of the screen. So I just focus on the centre of the screen and hope for my damage ability. Need to get out to those guys. Holy sugar, I think I'm dead. Yeah, that's why I'm in the backyard. I'm powering all of this from solar at the moment. See, I've got an air conditioning system for my main room upstairs, but I can't afford to have my air conditioning on. It'd be too hot. Okay, let's is there anything to power up? Oh, what's that? Wonder what else. I wonder if this can handle Star Trek Online at the same time. Star Trek Online is a little bit more powerful game. I mean, OBS and streaming is only taking up about 11% of the CPU, but that's still quite a lot. But let's try run. Let's try run. Star Trek Online. Kind of chill and relaxed. Streaming in the backyard, feeling okay. It's just I love my swing chair. Well, swing suite. Zaki, do you want a sweetie? Zaki can have a treat. Call me in, Zaki. Zaki can have a sweet. There we are. Zaki can have a treat. These are Lily's kitchen ones. These are nice. Goes treats for dogs. They're proper pork sausage and apple. And they haven't got any grain on or anything silly. I'm going to put this away because I'm not going to use that to control. Okay, let's see if Star Trek Online works. Okay, I'll know if he says, pardon me, overloaded frames. Well, yeah, it's Steam Deck. We're running on the Steam Deck, so it's Steam OS. It's actually not Debian, it's Arch. It's an Arch Linux. So, we are now using... Alright, so let's see if this will work. I mean... Bye-bye for now. I hope you have a good sleep, Brendan. As for me, I'm just going to continue streaming here. Kinda cool. Okay, where am I? What's going on? What's the event? Has any more money come to me? Yes, another 500. Yay, I like money. Okay, so it's orders. Events. Heart of the matter. We've got 4 more days of this. I could get some stuff from there, or I could just do my daily bits and pieces. Actually, why not? Why not? Why not? Let's just make sure that check my options. Yeah, of course. Just go into options and make sure we don't have voice chat turned on and that, because that would be silly. Okay, so doesn't hurt. First of all, let's go into my reputation. Now this one's okay. We've got 235 marks left on here, so I can collect those. We've just got to get. I just want to get up to level 5, so we'll continue with the dailies. I like upgrading all my characters. I've got so many characters. Oh. Right. We've got 72, which means we can do 2 more of these. So Task Force Omega is probably the next one I'm going to have to put points in. New cars, got 107, that's 3 more it can do. So collect reward, collect reward, collect reward, and go fill all. 77 on there, yeah. 91, this one we can do 6. Always have to realise just how many we've got. 6 more lots I can do with this one. And Dyson. Ooh, you're the lowest. You're going to be at the lowest point, I believe. So, ooh, Dyson is going to definitely need some stuff. And counter command we have none. Alright. Let's do the research and development. Right, there the little mini games. Right, we can have one more, can't we? I've been playing this game since 2009. Having a good drinky? Track movements of spacebar and blah 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 blah. We'll do this one, we need science. We need to do it in the name of science, but we need a science. Negative. Come on, let's remove science, which ignores engineering. Come on, there must be an ignores science. That's the one we want. So it takes less to do it. That's the way we do it. We are splendiferous on a Tuesday. So what do we need? We need 30 in science. That's actually, 30 odd-ish in science. 36 in science. I wonder if that one will just do it all. It will, Mr. Fwibble. It will, my good friend. So, okay, we need engineering. Something with a lot of engineering. Something with a lot of tack. Oh well, where's the 50 tack? Something. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Mr. Fwibble, we may have made a partition of Dingo's belongs. We're gonna need some science. Ooh. Yeah. We're going to have to get rid of one of these. Change this over to one that's got high science. Because we don't want to do anything bad. We really don't want to do anything bad, Mr. Fungal. So give me something, come on, give me a... Ooh, that one's going to take that one down a little low. So... we're going to have to enunciate this problem. We've got a problem. Okay, so... that one's already in there and that's giving good bonuses. That's nice, but I don't know whether it's enough. I can drop this down to 40 if I can find a higher engineering. Will that do it? Son of a chicken defender. I mean, we're so close. So close. So close. Come on, there's gonna be one that's got a bit more ooble flungs. There, we had it. We had the one that would make them all go the right colour, and then we can press boop. See? This is what we do when we have a chicken soup vendor. Yes, so this is, I'm streaming on the Steam Deck here, a portable monitor, my Logitech Pro headset, all powered by solar panels over there. Because let's show you. Right, so what you've got the Steam Deck here, running secondary monitor, keyboard, mouse, powered off a battery bank generator thingy, which is being charged by another battery bank generator, which is being charged by the solar panels. Well, actually, it's been charged by a third battery. It's very inefficient. I'm losing a bit of power in between this. Usually, I would just take an extension lead from the main unit and charge that, or just run all of this from the main unit. But I was like, I don't feel like lifting that thing out of there. I'm going to use my other stuff. So, yeah, all of it's done. And of course, the cute little doggy's over there. And this is... I think the cute little doggy deserves another sweetie. But let me put this back over here. Would Zaki like a sweetie? Zaki can have a sweetie, because Zaki is a good boy. Oh, no. Oh, what did it... That was a bad thing. Give me a second. Emergency chicken soup vendor happened. Oh. That was my own damn fault. The dog walked over the USB cable for the monitor. So we've got to just wait for things to kick back in. Come on. Seriously? secondary monitor is not kicking back in. Hello there. This is Star Trek Online. Unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a quandary now because the monitor has disconnected. Go away, Waspy. Go away. Go away. You're not welcome here. Go away. Go away, you waspykins. Go. Oi, oi. Frick off. This is not your place to be. You little shit. Did you even try? Give me a second, just. There, that's better. The monitor's coming back. Okay, so give me a little sec, because we are just having to tweakify our monitorkins of doom. Come on, we can do this. There. I'm going to have to drag this damn game. Go away, go away, go away. Go away, flies. Flies are taking the piss at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is this. Close. Terminate the Steam app. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this. And I'm going to have to... Because what happened was I gave the dog a treat and it walked over the USB cable for the monitor. Because I'm in the backyard. And it sort of went boom. Not boom, but quite. We lost power to it. And then Linux decided to reset itself on the Steam Deck. Tell you what. What the Steam Deck is capable of, streaming and gaming, because I mean, you got to think, this Steam Deck is having to encode and do everything at the same time. So let's try to restart the game, but first I've got to change the display configuration. I've got to make sure this big monitor here is set as primary, apply that, and then keep that configuration. Yes, that works. There, so we're seeing this one. Then we can restart the game. We can restart Star Trek Online. I mean, how did you even manage to get to bed in that? You were only gone for like 5-10 minutes. Come on, game, kick in. I want to play some more thingy. I was sorting my Admiralty stuff out. Come on, Star Trek Online. Let me in. Let me in. So I need to find a better place for my cables, so that the dog doesn't walk over them and pull them out. Because there's two cables here, and while the Steam Deck will continue to function because of its battery, no problem. Actually, the Steam Deck's only drawing like between 10 and 14 watts. But I don't. The monitor doesn't have a built-in battery. You know, I could do that. I could modify it. I could stick a thingy on the back of it, create its own stand and put an actual one of my battery packs and connect it in. That would work. Okay, let's go back in with my character, which I was horsing about, basically, horsing about with it. Now, of course, I won't be playing any major big AAA games and that, because this system, the Steam Deck, is pretty powerful for its size and for what it does. It makes an amazing streaming desktop and that, but you've got to really limit your expenses. You can't play a AAA title with it and stream at the same time. It will have issues. And if anybody asks me a question and I miss a question or something, then it's because I keep getting distracted by the game. So sitting in the backyard while it's cool. It's now down to 24 Celsius in the shade, which is nice. Unfortunately, it's probably still about 28 degrees Celsius in the house. I'm going to bounce around together. We are going to bounce around in all kinds of weather. Okay, Jason, focus, what you're supposed to be doing. I was messing with stuff, Ooh. Oh, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? Beam weapons. Oh, let's do that one. Admiralty. I was doing this once when I was horsing about. I really was messing about so much. My brain was just focused on messing about. Let's get these done. So, let's pick something really ridiculous. There, that'll do that in one. Begin. And this one. Let's get you done. Should be able to do you with one ship as well. You'll give me some money. We need something with high engineering. That'll do, Mr. Fwibble. My brain's starting to frizzle. Frazzle, frizzle, frizzle, frazzle, frizzle. Frizzle, frazzle, frazzle goes the frizzle, frazzle, frazzle goes the frizzleness. Oh, come on, we can do this. Begin that. And I believe we can do at least another one. Ooh, that one will go 630. We'll get that one going. We need 55. Will that do it all in one? Yes, it will. No, it won't. Damn it. Damn, Mr. Fwibble. For you are toasty. Send that one going. So all those are done. Now, let's send some people to do these as well. I don't want to purchase any more fucking turrets. Don't really know what I'm doing, I'm just pressing buttons at the moment. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. Okay, so all those are done. Is there any personal ones? Now we'll go to the department heads and see if there's anything interesting to do down here. Yeah, I completely agree. Make an edit overview. Can you put your hand over the... So I can, that's weird. That's very weird. No, and I'm not going to put my hand over my camera. That's weird. Yeah, amazing what the Steam Deck can do. I mean, this Steam Deck is running the OBS software for streaming and the game, and it's only drawing about 14 watts. So... Can you put your hand over the cam? That's kind of weird. That's a weird one. Let's just do this one. This is the third Steam Deck I've had. I tried the ROG Ally and it had too many design issues. The Legion Go is amazing. I think it's better than the ROG Ally, definitely. And the Xbox ROG Ally hybrid actually looks fucking good. It really does. I mean, if you've got the Ultimate Pass for Game Pass for Microsoft and the new ROG Ally Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, it's going to be amazing. It is going to be freaking amazing for any kind of games. I mean, I'm very lucky in my backyard. I've got really good wireless. So tell me, Sports Tree, why do you want me to put my hand over camera? It's just a weird thing. Yeah. I mean, anybody would think though it's too much. I mean, the amount of games you get. I mean, I used to have the PlayStation Game Pass, the stuff and that, but the stuff they offered you was never very good. Yeah, wireless we've got about 150 meg down, 150 up in the backyard. So the backyard is, it's because I spend time out here and this is my, like, one of my safe spaces to spend here. No. But yeah, so let me show you what we've got here. We've got the Steam Deck over here, running OBS and the game. Got the game on a Uperfect 18.5 inch monitor that only draws 6 watts. I've got my basic K380 in there. I've got my 8-bit do at the back there if I need it. And it's powered by my... anybody who's into solar power and that and those electronics will be cringing when I show them this, because I've got this little generator here which is a solar powered battery that's charged up. That's being charged by another one in the corner, an anchor one, and the anchor one is being charged by one inside the shed that is charged by the solar panels. Normally, and every single one I do, you're losing 10% at least of energy. Really, you're losing 10% of energy between the battery systems. Normally I would just have an extension lead go into the one in the shed, but I wanted to run some power through these different setups. And of course my dog over there is having fun and just zonked out because it's so hot. So yeah. So yes. Yeah, I mean, those 3 solar panels on the back of the shed give me enough power that if it came to it and I couldn't afford electricity in the house, or there was a disaster, I could run this desktop replacement using the Steam Deck and do all the things I would normally do with this from that solar panel, and I could run my Quest 3, so I could do all my Quest 3 stuff, and so all my electronics could be charged from there. It's not enough to run the house or anything big in there, but yeah, it's definitely enough to pretty much charge every phone and every chargeable in the house. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Pal Talk. I used to be on Kick and I used to be on Twitch, but I don't like Twitch. See, I do this for fun. I do it because part of my treatment. I do all this as part of keeping me sane. This is part, it's actually in my actual medical notes. This kind of thing helps with my ADHD, and that it helps me to survive each day with my autism. Doing this kind of things, computers and games. Twitch, once you become an affiliate, it's all about business. Twitch is mercenary, absolutely mercenary, and so I had them remove me from Twitch. YouTube's not that bad. I mean, streaming to YouTube isn't that bad at all. But if you become an affiliate with Twitch, they start sending you messages like, "Oh, why don't you do this? This'll get you some more money from your people who are following you," and all that kind of thing. No, I went from, well, I went through, oh, what was it? No, I never went to that because in the old days I didn't do any of this. I only started doing this in 2019. Before that, I spent all my time looking after my wife, so I never even streamed or did anything like this kind of thing. I started as a basically survival thing to keep me going. Right, focus, Jason. What was I doing? I don't know what I was doing. I don't like the summer. I do not like the summer. I mean, I was around on ICQ and MSN Messenger and all that kind of thing, and I came up from the Amiga and Spectrum and that, and I gamed, but I never had time for Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's a connection for me to the world. This is part of my safe space. I mean, being here and doing all this, I've met some amazing people. It's been a wonderful thing to get to know so many different people around the world through this kind of thing and through my VR stuff and that. But I haven't streamed for a while because I was streaming to Discord a lot, and the people on Discord know me very well, but everybody's busy doing things, so I wanted to make sure to start streaming like this, and as long as I can stream in the backyard when it's so hot. And the UK is not meant for hot weather. We are not meant for hot weather. Hot weather is bad. I mean, seriously, our houses store heat, Our houses are very good for the winter. Our houses are very well insulated, and in the winter they'll keep you warm. But during the summer, heat just builds up in the insulation and never leaves the house. It was 28 degrees Celsius last night when I went to bed. How are you supposed to sleep? I mean, I don't have the money to... I've got air conditioner in one of my rooms. I've got a portable air conditioner, but I cannot run it because it costs too much. With the cost of living and all the stuff that's happened recently, that just can't afford to run the actual thing, the air conditioning inside. So I'll stay out here till a bit later when it starts to really cool down, open up the windows and see how the room is upstairs. And I get to spend time talking to people and friends. Yay! And I've made an eco PC upstairs. My PC upstairs doesn't have a graphics card in. It's... You know how this is the Steam Deck and that is built on an AMD CPU? Well, the same kind of thing as that. It's the AMD 8700G processor, which has the 780M built-in graphics. The same kind of graphics you get in a lot of AMD laptops and that. The evolution of the one from the Steam Deck. It's a little bit more powerful, got more cores and more power, so about twice as powerful as the Steam Deck. And you can allocate normal memory, so I've got it set up on a DDR5 system, and I've allocated 16 gigs VRAM to the integrated graphics, and that can pretty much play anything at 1080p. It's an amazing little system, and it gives out very little thermal. It only uses about 80 watts, 90 watts max for a gaming PC, so it doesn't heat up my room. I used to have a 3090 and I tried the AMD versions, and they're just too expensive for me to run full time. So I've been slowly rebuilding my system to be an eco gaming system, so I can still use the gaming for the coping strategies, but it doesn't actually doesn't use up too much electricity and doesn't put too much heat in my streaming room upstairs. I do have a backup PC which is on a little wireless network, which is a server, and that is a Windows one with a 5060 Ti. Now, I don't suggest anybody get the 50 series of cards. They are horrible for most people. For me it was a good thing for my niche case. The 16 gigabytes on the Ti allowed me to, and it has a little bit more performance per watt. So that gets turned on if I want to do stuff like Valve Index or a AAA that won't run on my Eco PC upstairs. And so I've just been turning everything in the house to be more energy efficient. Because my electricity bills have like tripled since all this stuff began. The last few years, it's crazy how much electricity in the UK is costing. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant about the so yeah, so I can't afford to have a full house. The 8700G, I played modded Skyrim, I played Teardown, I've played Space Engineers 2, I've run Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's actually stable. The best thing to go for is like between... You can get a stable 45 FPS on Cyberpunk, which isn't bad. 45 FPS without having too much of the frame generation and all that crap on, so it actually looks good. You can get up to 60 FPS if you want it to look crap, but I'd prefer to go down to like a stable 30-40 FPS. So yeah, I've been doing that. What other games did I play? I play a lot of small games, so of course stuff like this Star Trek Online and that run easily. It's a very powerful little thing, and the good thing is if you pair it with very fast DDR5 memory and allocate, like I said, allocate 16 gigs of your 64 gigs on board the system, it's actually really good for 1080p gaming. So yeah, those are the ones I've been playing on that. I think a couple more generations. And unless you really want to have a big built PC with a graphics card, we will have powerful enough CPUs to get 60 FPS 1440p graphics on the system, because I know AMD is working on their next generation, and the next generation is supposed to be almost double the power, or double the actual performance of the 8700G. But what opened my eyes to it was the Steam Deck. When I first got the Steam Deck, I mean, when you think about it, this little computer here, this Steam Deck that is running at, let me check. Let me do a little test here. Okay, it's drawing 21 watts. The Steam Deck at the moment is drawing 21 watts. It is running OBS. It's running OBS and Discord and my YouTube pages and the game at 21 fucking watts. And the OBS isn't overloaded. It's crazy. It's crazy. When I started messing about with the Steam Deck and realised just how much you could do with a Steam Deck. I mean, this Steam Deck can replace my desktop. If my desktop breaks down, I can do everything with this. Yes, I have to limit my games. No, I can't play the big games, of course. But if I drop it down to 720p, yeah, the Steam Deck, when I first got it, first of all, one of the wonderful things about the Steam Deck is you don't realise that you're using Linux. It's the ultimate illusion to get you into privacy-based OS and more stable OS and all the good things about Linux without the, oh, I've got to learn sudo and everything like that. You can learn all that, you can go into desktop mode, but you can play with the Steam Deck for months and months and never realise that you're actually... Yeah, eGPUs give you the option, like upstairs. My setup upstairs is this. My Eco PC is a 8700G without a graphics card inside it. Now I can put a graphics card into that if I want. I have an Intel Arc 7700, a spare one of them in my house. I can put it. But I also have a mini PC. A mini PC which I specifically use with a Razer E-Core that's got a 5060 Ti in it. And that 5060, the reason I chose the 5060 Ti is 5060 Ti is the most power you will get that can isn't hindered by Thunderbolt 3 or USB 4. You're pretty much not going to have any kind of bottleneck, so it's a really Normally I would say don't go for the 5060 Ti, but for an eGPU the 5060 Ti just about hedges out the 4060 Ti, and for that you could plug that into my computer upstairs if I want to play anything like my Valve Index. But the stuff you can do on a Steam Deck, like I sometimes use this I'm sitting out here and I'm using the Steam Deck as my desktop, a streaming desktop. I'm streaming a game, I'm playing a game and chatting to all of you, although I keep getting distracted and not actually play the game, which is normal for me. I'd much prefer to talk to people than actually play the game. So yeah, I love chatting. But yeah, it gives you the ability to have a computer that's running really efficiently. Let's think about it. This entire setup can run on a battery bank you use for a phone. A basic battery bank, a 60-watt battery bank that you would charge your phone with. You could run this 18.5-inch portable monitor, the Steam Deck, and have a full setup. It's crazy that you can do this. The only downside to the Steam Deck, though it doesn't have, and this is the only limitation, it doesn't have a USB 4 connection. If they ever do a Steam Deck with a USB 4 connection so that you can plug in actually two things, two USB 4 connectors, one so you can power it unless you get powered from the eGPU, and one so you can plug into an eGPU. That would make the Steam. Can you imagine being able to plug in something like a 4060 or a 5060 Ti into the Steam Deck? It would be fucking amazing. Whereas the ROG Ally and the Legion Go, they all have access to USB 4 connectors, and those USB 4 connectors mean that you can plug in any kind of eGPU into them, which makes them a desktop. Yeah. See, I've never liked Nintendo. I don't buy Nintendo because of their practices. The way they were so against fan fictions, they're so against fans in general and anything that fans do. They come down so hard on channels and everything. I don't like their business side and the way they act. I don't like the way they close guard on all their games. I don't like that. But they missed. Yeah. They don't think like that with the Switch. They don't think like that. They don't want you to expand it in that way. So it's both, yes, it's a missed opportunity, but it's an opportunity that it's a path they wouldn't take, unfortunately. Whereas, think about the ROG Ally X or the new Xbox ROG Ally or the Legion Go. You can basically, if you could keep them working, I'll talk about that later, then plug in an eGPU. You've got a system that will be not future proof but will last a long time. A very much, because it wouldn't cost much more for them to, as long as they're not using a proprietary CPU to actually have that USB 4 and with the DisplayPort activated capability. Because even my phone can plug into an external monitor and things like that, and it's crazy that we can't do these more things. We need to stop. When people think of green, this is one of my pet peeves. when people think of green technology, they go for buying new stuff. But these same people who are thinking of green will buy a new phone every year, or buy the next shiny. We need instead technology that will last longer. We need technology that we can say, when the Steam things don't work, we can add something to it. We need modular. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. A lot of these chips, it's like when they created the Steam Deck, Fairphone is amazing. In fact, in a couple of days, I've ordered a Fairphone 6. I've got a Fairphone 6 on order. It should arrive next week. I sent back my Samsung S25 Ultra, and I'm having a Fairphone 6 Ultra Gen. Fairphone Gen 6 they call it. So a Fairphone Gen 6, I'll do a review on it and an unboxing and everything, and it's going to become my primary phone. My main phone, I've gone back to my main phone. This is a Samsung S20 Fan Edition. This is the last good phone that Samsung did. And why do I say the last good phone? Because this was the last phone that they allowed you to put a micro SD in it. Every single phone I use, I put a 1TB micro SD card, and that gives me the ability to have all my spare games, my retro stuff, my music, my books, and everything actually on my phone. I don't have to stream, I don't have to wait for an internet connection. But after the S20, they took out the ability to have a micro SD card in. It's stupid. It really is stupid, because the Steam Deck and other handhelds have shown, and other phone companies have shown, that whereas they will charge you like £600 for an extra terabyte on top for your phone, if you go to Samsung's website and you check out the price of the 512GB version of the Samsung S25 Ultra, and then you look at the 1TB version, it's like £600 extra for 512GB extra. They charge you so much for extra storage when you can buy a 1TB micro SD card for like £30–40. It's crazy. It's a total con. So yeah, the Fairphone can have the new micro SDs are out now. This is the interesting thing. I don't know if you know, but they've just started to make 2TB micro SD cards. They've finally got the tech to the point where we can have 2TB micro SD cards, and the Fairphone Gen 6 is the first one that's actually got the option that says in the actual specifications that it can take up to a 2TB micro SD. The thing is, I don't like cloud. I don't like cloud computing and trusting the internet. I always like to know that I've got 5,000 phones, 5,000 songs on my computer and on my actual phone. I don't need to be on YouTube to have that. I don't need Spotify to have my 5,000 phones. They are actually on my phone because I bought every single one of them. Because what I did about 7 years ago, me and my wife, we cancelled our Spotify and our e-music and all those kind of things. We cancelled all that, and the £30 that we were spending on Spotify and Amazon Music, instead we went to Amazon every single month and used that £30 to buy 30 songs, because they sell them for 99p per single. So we just go through all the albums that were released that month and pick out the songs that we liked and buy 30 songs every single month, and those songs were ours. You all know what it's like if you've got Spotify. You'll have your curated list, you'll have your Spotify list, and all of a sudden a song will disappear. They can't do that to me. I've got my 5,000 songs on here, and I can transfer it to every single phone I've got. I can transfer it to every computer I put together. I've got it on my Steam Deck. I've got the 5,000 songs on my Steam Deck as well. So I've always got that entertainment. I've always got that stuff that allows me to be in complete control of it, and they can't take them away from me. Streaming and all that and cloud-based computers is a nice idea, but there's always that chance, there's always that point in time when it might not be there. You might have a power cut. And I think if the war in Ukraine has proved anything to us, is how fragile first world countries can be. We'd like to think we live in completely safety and everything's fine for us, but the world is a bit edgy than it was before, and it sort of got to the point where I prefer to have copies of my stuff. That's why I like getting games. I always have backup games. I mean, they say, oh, what about Steam licenses, but you can always go offline on Steam and still play all your games. And if you've got games on GOG, physical media. I didn't mean to get into a rant here, but it's true. They're trying to sell everything to us. It's one of the reasons I've moved away from Windows. Windows has become a service. I've been using Windows since Windows 3.1. I've been around computers for 30, 40 years. I mean, my first console was in 1976. Seriously, that's when I first had a thingy, so it's why I have my Plex. I have a Plex server that I connect to, and my Plex server has got something like 2,000 episodes of TV series and about 4,000 films. And every single one of those films and every single one of those TV series, I have the bought box sets, DVD and Blu-ray, that sort of thing. Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's the thing about the Steam Deck. Let's come back round to Steam Decks and Linux. Steam Deck and Steam OS has proved that I'm using OBS, which I used to use on Windows. I've got my Ace Money client on here, which is a Windows program, which is my budget software. I've got my Thunderbird email client, which is a Windows software running on here because, in fact, let me show you. Let's come out for you. Let me show you some stuff on here, because this is the cool shit. Let's do some cool shit. Look, so this is the desktop version of Linux that comes with SteamOS. And the cool thing is this. I can connect via Parsec to my Windows server upstairs and do Windows stuff if I want to. But I can use this. I've got Discord and everything here. So this is the illusion that they try to tell you. They try to tell you that it won't work with anything. So we have a program here called Lutris. Now Lutris is amazing. When you get, let me bring you up over here. Lutris will basically run Windows games and software via its compatibility layers. Sometimes it will use Wine, other times it will use the Steam Proton layer that's built into Steam to make all these games compatible. And you can run all your stuff, your Epic Game Store, your GOG, bring them all into here. Lutris is amazing. It's one of the best things to download when if you start using the desktop side of SteamOS, because SteamOS is Linux. And so, yeah, you can even get your Ubisoft freaking Kinect games to run on here. It's crazy. I have only found one piece of software that I can't run on here, and I have been a Windows user for many years, and now I've turned every computer in the house into a Linux machine. Except for one. I have one mini PC that runs Windows for the one thing that I run. And that's the thing. With a little bit of tweaking in there. And you know what the wonderful thing is? Here's the kicker. Here's the wonderful kicker about it. Even though we have to have a translation layer, Proton, to run games on Linux, they run faster than they run on native Windows. Think about that. Even with a translation layer, the games are running faster on Linux than on Windows, what they were built for, because there is so much bloat on Windows. I'm not a Windows hater, but I think Windows 11 and Windows 10 have pushed it into a very bad direction. A very bad direction, turning it more like bloody Macintosh and Apple systems. It's more a service. You don't own it anymore. So can we use... Now that's interesting. I wouldn't try to do that kind of stuff on the Steam Deck, but I'm using something called Bazzite upstairs. Now, Bazzite, you've got to remember that 3D programs, well, you've got to remember a lot. There should be actual alternatives to those because a lot of people do use Arch Linux in there. But it isn't easy to make the jump. The way I did it was this. When I've got 6 computers around the house. I turned 5 of them into Linux machines. I've got the Steam Deck with Steam OS. I've got my Eco PC which is running Bazzite. And the others are running different versions of Bazzite because Bazzite is like Steam OS but more compatible with everything else. Whereas Steam OS is a gaming operating system, which you can use it for full thingy. Bazzite has built-in drivers for printers and stuff like that. So Bazzite is like SteamOS, but for general use. So Bazzite is a really good one. You've got all the benefits of the gaming side, but you've also got all the work side is built into it as well. So Bazzite is what I did with that. So, in fact, but here's the fun thing. I set one PC up with Windows, one mini PC, which has an eGPU, so let me show you that. I'm outside in my backyard at the moment on my Steam Deck. If I want to use my Windows thingy, there. I'm connected now on my screen to my Windows PC upstairs. My Windows PC is headless. It doesn't have a monitor connected to it. It's just a little Minisforum mini PC connected to an eGPU. And it only uses the eGPU when it needs to. Mainly it just ticks around at like 5 watts and that. And I'm just copying over some stuff to my NAS with it. So it's there doing its own thing. It's just working there. My little Minisforum PC. I've got complete access to the audio as well. Remember, you just beep you heard. So I can play games on this. I am on my Steam Deck now and I can play a AAA game on my Windows PC from in the backyard. It's fucking cool. Do you know what the cool thing about Parsec is? You can use it with Android. I can connect to Parsec on here and game on my Windows PC or on my Linux PC upstairs if it's turned on. I love it. I absolutely love being able to do that. So yeah, this is running at about 11 watts, and that's because I'm transferring a massive amount of files to the NAS at the moment. It's been doing it for a couple of days, but I've just left it running. But it's running, barely ticking over. But down here, if we look down here, oh, you can't see it because let me move this over to here. If we go down here, we will see that there's even though it's Win Minutes form, it's plugged into a. Cancel that. We didn't need that. It is actually running a full GPU in the background if I need it, but not at the moment. So yeah, that's how I've got around it. I don't use this PC much. This PC is mainly for using my Valve Index if I want to do that, but it's too hot to use my Valve Index. I'm doing my exercise with VR in the backyard using my Quest 3 at the moment, which funnily enough I've got virtual desktop set up on here, so I can actually connect to here and play all my games through this using the 5060 Ti. So yeah, so this is, and the nice thing about Parsec is I can change the sound, what connects, what transfers over. But let's disconnect and go back to the Steam Deck. This has given me the best of both worlds. Pardon me. It means I've got access to all the stability, privacy, and awesome efficiency of Linux on all my main computers. And if I do need Windows for those few things I can't do on these, did try using VR on Linux, and it does work, and you can get around most of the problems, but it's not as easy as it could be. Oh, there's something called immersion, which allows you to go stream into it via Quest 3 and that, which is not bad either. That works quite well. But there is certain software that uses the Windows API, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So I prefer to have my index connected to the Windows machine. But I spend 90% of the time on Linux now. And I prefer the desktop, I prefer how easy it is to boot up and what I can play on it. It's kind of crazy. Now I'm going to try a run of a game now. Now that game I'm going to run is probably going to cause issues for the stream. It's Teardown is a game that, let me try and find it. In fact, let's play a bit of Space Engineers too. Let's see how much, because OBS is using about 11.5% of the CPU at the moment on the Steam Deck. So let's start up. Oh, I haven't installed it on this one. That's unusual. Oh, I played it upstairs last time. Oh, I'm not going to install that at the moment. Not while we're on here. Not while I'm doing all this. Then again, let's try. Shouldn't interrupt things too much. There. Let's just let that do. We'll we there. I am just mellowed out here having fun. It's kind of cool actually that part of my medical treatment is streaming, and even Beat Saber is part of my actual treatment regime and that for my brain and that. So, because I'm officially diagnosed with, I'm on the autistic spectrum disorder. I've got ADHD and bipolar type T and PTSD too. I am classed as severely disabled, even though I can do all this. But that's because when I'm talking here with all of you, I'm connected to you via the camera, and that has been allows me to function. So yeah, so I can swing back and forward, back. I'm just having fun. Thankfully, it's cooling down. It's gone down to 22.4 Celsius. Yay! feel free to ask any questions. But yeah, 2 terabyte M2s, they're a bit expensive at the moment. I mean, not 2 terabyte micro SDs are a bit expensive at the moment. You can get a 2 terabyte, a 1 terabyte one for between 40 and 70 pounds easily, and they're very cheap, the 1 terabyte ones. Oh, but the 2 terabyte ones are about 170 pounds because they've just come out and that. So it'll be a little while before the price goes down, but that's 2 terabytes of space. That means on a Steam Deck, you've got the 2 terabytes of the M2 that I put inside. I could add another 2 terabytes and have like 4 terabytes worth of space on it. That would make me happy. Venti, venti, venti. Oh, yes. I think you're right. I think you are right about that. Let me... Is it Palocon? My NAS setup, in fact. Let me just... Give me a sec to just... Let me just go down here and drag it over here while I put the username and password in. Because we've got to be security conscious. We've got to be security conscious, haven't we? Yes, we have, Mr. Fwibble. Right. Welcome to my Unraid server. This is my Unraid server. Now, the nice thing about Unraid, if you don't know Unraid, Unraid is a wonderful piece of software that runs on a little USB that you plug into any old computer. I've upgraded mine recently. My computer now for Thingy is now on steroids. My computer that I use for Unraid. It's a powerful PC. But basically, you know all those little hard drives that you've got hanging around? 500 gig, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, 4 terabytes. Well, normally, you can't put them all together in a RAID because RAIDs like you to have the same size hard drives. Normally you have parity drives, which are your drives that allow you to rebuild it if something goes wrong, and everything else has to be the same size so it doesn't cause problems. That's why your NAS is usually set up. But the thing about an Unraid server is this. You dismount it and you can plug in another drive. Doesn't matter whether it's 1 terabyte, as long as it's smaller than the parity drives. Now I'm lucky. I've just rebuilt my system and upgraded it, and now I've got two 20 terabyte parity drives, which means anything below 20 terabytes I can add to it at any point in time. I have just added this drive, a 16 terabyte drive has just been added to it, which means I've got 30 terabytes spare and 34 spare terabytes used. It's got a 500 gigabyte flash drive for stuff like fast stuff that it uses for Plex and that. And it runs off of a simple USB in the back of thingy. Now if we go to the dashboard, oh damn it, I'm actually not showing you this. I've done this before. Let me there. Sorry, my apology. Someone should have mentioned it to me. Okay, so back will start again. Unraid. So this is my Unraid server. This is the super CPU in it, which is far too powerful for it, but why not? It's an 3950X with a motherboard is an MSI X570 with 32 gigabytes, but you can put Unraid on any hardware. The hardware I was running before this was Um, an old 2013 PC, but I upgraded it. It's got runs on a 2.5 gigabyte network. I've got my Plex on here, Jellyfin, Alarma for AI. I've got a 4060 in my NAS for codecs and stuff like that. Um, different bits and pieces I run in it. So the two parity drives are 20 terabyte, which means anything under 20 terabytes or up to 20 terabytes, I can add to it and it will use the full amount. So I've got like 8 terabytes in here. I've got a 1 terabyte, a 4 terabyte, some more 4 terabyte. Basically, any spare drives I had in the house, I created the Unraid server with it. Um, and like I said, I've just added this 16 terabyte drive here, and this can do. My plan is at some point in time to set up some virtual machines in this system, because now I've upgraded the hardware, it could handle virtual machines. I might increase the memory though, because it's only got 32 gig. I want to take it to 64 gig. So Unraid is wonderful. Unraid is the best one to use for this kind of things. It's a really nice system. It's got full Docker, so you can add whatever you want and do what you need with it. Lots of plugins and apps. Yeah, my NAS is a really nice media server, disconnected from the external world. It runs on my private network only, so I don't have anything connecting to the outside world via it. So that's why I don't mind people seeing mine. See, people think, oh my God, you're showing the IP, you're showing the IP. No, I'm just showing my internal network IP. Everybody has these IPs for their network, and this is just the one that this runs on at the moment. So yeah, the changes I'm going to make soon is, you saw that drive I was copying stuff over. That's a 20 terabyte drive. So what's going to happen is when that drive is empty, I think it's a 20 terabyte drive, yeah. When that drive is empty, when I've transferred all the stuff over to the NAS, I'm going to take that drive and plug it into the NAS as a disk in the NAS. So I'll add another 16 to 20 terabyte to the NAS. So the NAS will end up with another 16 terabyte of spare space. So yes, this is what I do with the NAS. We go bounty. Has anybody got any more questions about the NAS? I'm very random, but I'm very happy to ask this kind of question. What are you thinking about? Is it Pilokun? Pilokun? Pilokun. I'm probably butchering your name. My apology. The APUs, like I said, I think in this next two generations of APUs, the Strix ones and that are going to be absolute fucking amazing. It's kind of weird. AMD doesn't seem to be very good at graphics cards. They can do them, but their graphics cards aren't very good. Yep. Because I like. I'm still tweaking things. Once I've got the hardware fixed all on it and done, I'll be happy to then add more stuff. This system, if you look at the dashboard, we're using basically none. The CPU is hardly being used. The RAM's hardly being touched. It's 14% of the RAM is being used. I mean, seriously. I do want to take it back up. If I'm going to start doing virtual machines on it, then yeah. But it's a lovely little system. If you're wondering about the errors, this this drive here, drive 6, is an old drive. It's a 4 TB Western Digital Red. Very good drive. It says it's got errors, but the errors are just basically old age. There's nothing wrong with the drive. It just comes out of in an error because the smart data says, wow, this drive's this many years old. You should replace it. But it's actually got no actual errors on the drive. And these heat levels, two of these drives, number 10 and one of the parities, are higher temperature than anything else. And the reason for that is they're in external enclosures plugged in via USB instead of using SATA, because I've filled all the SATA connectors, and so instead of adding another expansion port, I've just started plugging into the USB to the back. So that's the reason they're higher temperatures. But that's normal for those, for external drives. But yeah, you can add. I mean, if we go to the apps section here, that you can basically add anything to this. This is amazing, the amount of stuff that's available for this. Emulators, lots of different emulators. Even stuff like KeyCAD, and of course all the AI stuff you can do with it as well, with alarm and bits and pieces like that. Um, game servers. Game servers. This is freaking great for games. I could easily set up. I mean, look. OnRaid has them all ready for you just into all. Install them all. It's kind of crazy. And once I put some more memory in this, I will be setting up some more of these bits and pieces for my friends to play on the server. If any of you want to chat or anything, all you have to do is contact me on Discord, Queber. I'm Queber on Discord, so just send a message to Queber on Discord, say hello, say where you're from. If you want to come, and I'll join you to our main server. The main server is closed because we had lots of griefers in there, so we only add people that we get to know. So we gatekeep the people that can go in there, which means it's a pretty cool group of people. It's not like most servers where it's just a thing for a tool for someone's to let their people know what's going on. Most of the time we're in the chill chat and just voice chatting and all that kind of thing. So anybody who wants to actually get to know me and talk to me, I'm happy to talk to you on Discord. All you have to do is add me on Discord and get to know me and that. But yeah, this has a lot of amazing stuff. Anyway. There. So we are splendiferous and having fun, aren't we? But yeah, the APUs are going to be so good. Like I got distracted into. Um, and for anybody that doesn't know, Matrix is an amazing alternative to Discord. You see, the problem with Discord is this. Discord, without us knowing it, without us realizing it, has basically become the go-to communication system for gamers and the world. And it's owned in part by China. And at any point in time, we could lose Discord. It could go away. It could be destroyed. And we don't have anything that many alternatives that can do the gameplay, that can do everything that do Discord. Discord has basically centered itself as everybody needing to use it, a bit like Facebook and that did. And so Matrix is like a decentralized own server setup. You can do all the things on it. It's a wonderful system. I'm still tweaking our version and setting it up so that we can have it running securely on my system and everything. I want to make sure everything's ready before I start activating. But I always like to I like Discord, but I don't know whether I trust the people who are running it. But yeah, I do think that APUs are becoming so powerful, and it really was stuff like the Steam Deck that showed just how powerful an APU can be. And I think in the next couple of generations from AMD, we're going to get things. Yeah, yeah, yep. I I wish Discord was open source. I wish Discord hadn't sold some of its stock and some of its shares to Chinese Tencent and stuff like that. I wish it was open source. I wish it was more decentralized. I am just concerned about Discord because it's so good. We rely on it so much that I will always like to have a backup. Oh, actually, TeamSpeak 6. TeamSpeak 6 looks interesting as well. They're going to release the servers soon so you can run it on your own systems. TeamSpeak 6 is going to have a lot of the features of Discord, but you'll be running it on your own server. If you want to run it on your own server. I like running things on my own servers. I like that. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to know I can run stuff on my own servers. Ooh, it's down to 21.4 Celsius. Nice and cool outside. It's splendiferous. Hmm. Yeah, I just don't trust a company like Tencent or stuff owning anything like that. I just don't trust. Maybe I'm paranoid, but I've seen too much of the bad things can happen with Chinese companies. Not all Chinese companies are wrong. Not all Chinese companies are bad. Um, but they do have a very different kind of cost analysis than us. It's like if you played any games from NCSoft, they shut them down as soon as they reach a certain point, even if they're still viable. even if they're still working, they will shut them down. If it's kind of weird. And once they shut them down, they don't like to give out the code and let anybody else run them. And it can be a very, I don't like the idea that, see, this is my advice to you. If you have really good friends on Discord and Discord went away tomorrow, do you have any way of contacting them? See, about 6 months ago, I did a thought experiment, a theory crafted it. I thought, okay, let's say if Discord disappeared tomorrow, if they decided to shut it down because it wasn't making money, and it isn't making money yet, it really isn't. They're really running out of money, Discord is. If they just shut down, if they went bankrupt and shut down tomorrow, how many of my friends would I still be able to contact or talk to? How many of my friends would I be able to check on them? How many of my connections would disappear completely? And I realized that most of my friends on Discord and that I didn't have a backup. I didn't have a way to talk to them if Discord went down. That's when I started collecting emails and connecting with people in other ways. But yeah, I hope that it doesn't go down. I hope that it'll be for a long time, and I hope that they solve some of the problems on it. Just makes me be able to sleep better at night knowing that I've got an option. See, this is a problem. When Discord became so good, we didn't need ICQ, MSN Messenger, AOL Messenger. We stopped using all of those, Yahoo Messenger. We stopped using all of these other ways to contact our friends because Discord did it all so well. And that can be a wonderful thing. But at the same point, it puts you in a situation where your entire social life is controlled by another entity, and that bothered me. Hopefully they will figure out a way of monetizing things without actually making it too cringe-worthy. I used to pay for Nitro just to support Discord. I'm not against things like that. Yep. Oh, I loved it. This swing seat only cost like £72 from Amazon. And I absolutely love this swing seat. Well, it's so cool to be able to just be in the backyard like this and swinging back and forward, back and forward. I am such a kid. Whee. So I think I'm going to start streaming more. I stopped streaming for a long time and just streamed on Discord, but I like connecting to people and chatting with people, as you can tell. Gaming on streams has always been a secondary thing for me. I've always much more preferred to talk to people. It's a weird thing with my autism. In real life, it's really hard for me to talk to people. To talk to strangers, I can't do, and if I meet anybody that I don't know, it can cause me problems. But streaming, connecting to all of you like this is just cool. And splendiferous. Back and forward, back. My therapist says that this is a form of stimming for me. And I think it is probably, yeah. Helps my brain settle. So if you've got any questions about me or anything, you can ask. I am a pretty much an open book when it comes to these streams. We can talk about everything and anything. The only bad question is one that doesn't get asked. I used to, and I'm going to try start streaming, especially while it's so hot, every day, but I'll probably stream about 5 p.m. UK time and stream till about 8 p.m. UK time. My doggie's still asleep over there. Tacky. Hey, you baby. Oh, you're a little baby, aren't you? Yes. Oh, you're getting a stretchy on. Come on, you go with good dog. There, have a sweetie. So I think when you have to go, I'm going to shut down the stream because I've been on for 3 hours almost. I think about 3 hours. Not sure. Well, between about 5 and about 7 and 8. I think that's when I'll do my streaming from now. So bye bye for now. Stay there. Stay. So I will say bye bye for now. It's been a wonderful little stream weekend. Yay. Bye bye for now. I'm really impressed how well this works. You too. Bye bye. Bye bye. Let me find the button that says turn off the stream.